In the quiet hum of a small Italian restaurant on a rainy Tuesday evening, Emily Thompson sat alone at a corner table, her fingers twisting the edge of a worn napkin. The air smelled of garlic and fresh bread, a comforting warmth that clashed with the knot in her stomach. She glanced at her phone at 7:05 p.m. Her blind date was late. With only $5 crumpled in her pocket, she wondered if this was a mistake. Emily was 28, a part-time librarian in a sleepy suburb of Chicago. Life hadn't been kind lately. Her apartment was tiny, her car unreliable, and her bank account hovered near empty after paying rent and helping her sick mother with medical bills. Blind dates weren't her thing, but her friend Sarah had insisted. "He's nice, Emily, give it a chance." So here she was, in her best thrift store dress, a simple blue cotton one that hugged her slender frame, hoping for a spark, or at least a free coffee. But the menu prices stared back at her like accusations. Pasta at $15, salads at $12. Her $5 might cover a soda, if she was lucky. The door chime tinkled, and a man in a crisp shirt and jeans walked in, scanning the room. He spotted her and waved awkwardly. "Emily, I'm Ryan. Sorry I'm late, out traffic." He was handsome enough, with short brown hair and a friendly smile, but something in his eyes seemed distracted. They shook hands, and he sat down, unfolding the menu with ease. As they chatted, Emily felt the conversation flow like a gentle stream. Ryan worked in sales, loved hiking, had a dog named Max. She shared about her love for books, how she dreamed of writing one someday. But beneath the words, her mind raced. What could she order? A side of breadsticks, maybe? She sipped water slowly, buying time. At the next table, Alexander Alex Harrington nursed a glass of red wine, his broad shoulders tense under a tailored suit jacket. He was 35, CEO of a tech firm that built apps for small businesses. But tonight, he was just a dad trying to unwind. His 7-year-old son, Liam, was at home with a babysitter after a long day of school and soccer practice. Alex had come here for a quick solo dinner, craving the restaurant's famous lasagna. Divorce had hit him hard 2 years ago. Raising Liam alone meant endless board meetings by day and bedtime stories by night. He rarely noticed others, but something about the woman at the adjacent table caught his eye. She was pretty, with soft auburn hair tied in a loose ponytail and eyes that sparkled with quiet intelligence. But it was her hesitation that drew him in. The way she scanned the menu, her fingers tapping nervously. He overheard snippets, her date suggesting the steak, her polite deflection to something light. Alex pretended to check his phone, but he watched. When the waiter arrived, Ryan ordered a full meal, appetizer, entree, even a beer. Emily hesitated, then asked for a small soup, claiming she wasn't hungry. Her voice was soft, almost apologetic. The rain pattered against the window, a steady rhythm that mirrored Emily's growing unease. As their food arrived, Ryan dove in, talking animatedly about his recent promotion. Emily stirred her soup, a watery tomato bisque that cost $4, savoring each spoonful to make it last. She laughed at his jokes, nodded at his stories, but inside, embarrassment burned. What if he suggested splitting the bill? Her $5 wouldn't cover half. She imagined the awkward moment, the pity in his eyes. "Why did I come?" she thought, her cheeks flushing. Alex couldn't ignore it anymore. From his vantage point, he saw the subtle signs, the faded dress, the single soup bowl, the way she glanced at the door as if plotting an escape. He remembered his own lean years, fresh out of college, scraping by on ramen and dreams. Now, with his company's success, money wasn't an issue, but loneliness was. Liam's laughter filled his home, but adult connection, that was rare. Something stirred in him, a quiet urge to help without intruding. As the meal progressed, tension built like clouds before a storm. Ryan finished his plate and leaned back, satisfied. "This place is great. Want dessert?" Emily shook her head, forcing a smile. "No, thanks, I'm full." But her stomach grumbled softly, betraying her. She excused herself to the restroom, slipping away to compose herself. In the mirror, she smoothed her hair, whispering, "Just get through this." Back at the table, the waiter dropped the check. Ryan glanced at it, then at her. "We can split it, right?" Emily's heart sank. She reached into her pocket, pulling out the crumpled bill. I only have $5. "I'm so sorry." Things have been tight. Her voice cracked, eyes downcast. Ryan's face shifted from surprise to discomfort. Oh, that's okay, I can cover it. But his tone was clipped, the warmth gone. The date, once promising, now felt like a failure. Alex, having paid his own bill, stood to leave. But he paused, his chair scraping softly. He approached their table with a calm stride, his deep voice steady. "Excuse me," he said, addressing the waiter who lingered nearby. "I'd like to take care of their bill." Anonymously, if possible. The waiter nodded, surprised but compliant. Ryan looked up, confused. "Wait, what?" Emily's eyes widened, tracing the voice to the tall man in the suit, his kind blue eyes meeting hers. It was the twist she never saw coming, a stranger's quiet act of kindness cutting through the awkwardness like sunlight after rain. Alex smiled gently. "I couldn't help overhearing." "No strings attached. Enjoy your evening." He turned to go, but Emily stood, her voice soft. "Wait, why would you do that?" He hesitated, glancing back. "Because I've been there, and sometimes, a little help makes all the difference." Ryan mumbled thanks, but his ego seemed bruised. He excused himself soon after, claiming an early meeting. Emily watched him leave, a mix of relief and sadness washing over her. The restaurant felt emptier now, the rain slowing to a drizzle. Alex lingered by the door, pulling on his coat. Something pulled him back. He returned to her table. "Mind if I sit for a moment? I'm Alex, by the way." She nodded, curious. "Emily, thank you. Really, that was unexpected." They talked then, the conversation unfolding like pages in a well-loved book. Alex shared about Liam, how fatherhood had reshaped his world after his wife's departure. "He's my everything," he said, his voice warm with pride. "But it's lonely sometimes." Emily opened up about her mother, the library job that paid little but fed her soul. "Books are my escape," she admitted. "They remind me there's more out there." The atmosphere shifted, the restaurant's soft lighting casting a golden glow. Laughter came easily. Alex joking about his failed attempts at baking cookies for Liam's school, Emily recounting funny patron stories from the library. Time stretched, slow and sweet, like honey dripping from a spoon. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving puddles that reflected the streetlights. As the evening wound down, Alex walked her to her car, an old Honda with a dented fender. "This was nice," he said, hands in his pockets. "Better than my solo dinner." Emily smiled, genuine this time. "Me too, thank you again." He handed her his card. "Call me sometime, maybe coffee?" "My treat," she laughed softly. "I'd like that." Driving home, Emily felt a quiet joy bloom in her chest. The $5 still in her pocket now symbolized possibility, not limitation. She thought of Alex's eyes, the way he listened without judgment. Life's struggles hadn't vanished, but a door had opened, a gentle reminder that kindness could bridge unexpected gaps. Alex, back home, tucked Liam into bed with a story about brave knights and hidden treasures. As his son drifted off, Alex reflected on the evening. Helping Emily had lifted his own spirits, a breakthrough in his routine of work and worry. Perhaps this was the start of something real, grounded in empathy rather than flash. In the days that followed, they met for that coffee, then a walk in the park with Liam tagging along, his small hand in Emily's as they fed ducks by the pond. Bonds formed slowly, like roots taking hold in fertile soil. Emily found strength in Alex's support, landing a better job at a publishing house. Alex discovered joy in shared moments, his home echoing with new laughter. Years later, on a similar rainy evening, they sat in that same restaurant, and now as a family. Liam, taller now, teased them about their meet-cute. Emily leaned into Alex, her ring catching the light. "Who knew $5 could lead to this?" she whispered. He kissed her forehead. "Sometimes, the best stories start with a little help from a stranger." And in that moment, they both understood, life's twists aren't always grand, but when rooted in compassion, they lead to endings richer than any fairy tale. If you're feeling stuck, reach out. A kindness might be closer than you think.